Jeff, why are you going on this particular expedition?
Well, it's an amazing story in the first place when TR took it. I mean, to go down a river that they knew that it started at one place and ended at another and no one had gone down it before, that's amazing in the first place, just to celebrate that. But more importantly, I want to see how things have changed over the last century. I mean, we've had so much change in the environment due to the increased climate change and all that. I wonder if the same animals are going to be found there from hunting and all the rest. So I'm really looking forward to a lot of the different aspects of this trip.
Other filmmakers have been on the River of Doubt and other parts of it. Are you bringing something different to it in the way that you produce a special?
There have only been a couple of people. There's only been a few trips actually, and there's only the last scientific one was in 1992, and that was a long time ago if you think about it. At this point, that was 22 years ago. And in fact, I read a comment online for some people that went in the area a few years ago, and that producer had said, you should have contacted us so that maybe we could have gotten in contact with the scientists because they may have some follow-up questions that they'd like answered.
Mm-hmm. How difficult of a project will this be from a filmmaker standpoint out in that kind of environment?
I think extremely difficult. I don't think people have any idea how difficult, in fact. We do this every day, and it's taken us years and years and years to be able to do like weekend adventures where we're going on kayaks for just a few hours. There's how do you recharge your batteries? There's always this problem with water, especially when you're on a river. There's all these different things. We're going through whitewater rafting and all the rest. I feel we're very prepared though, because we just went down the Grand Canyon and shot for 7 days on a Grand Canyon rafting trip and went through huge rapids there that'll be similar to what I expect we'll find in Brazil.
Are you taking a lot of equipment and it does involve many people? You know, do you have people that are carrying lots of equipment, or is it a pretty pared down crew?
It's extremely pared down, and there's two reasons for that. We used to have a crew of 5 or 6. Now we really have a crew of 3, sometimes 4. And the reason being is twofold. One is that when you meet people, indigenous people, and also when you're encountering wild animals, if you have a bigger group, you're impacting that, and you won't see as many wild animals. That's all there is to it. It's much smarter to have really trained, really smart guys with you, and with everybody doing the most that they can, and you get more, you just do. And in fact, we've worked with people that have worked with all the other big travel shows. I just had this experience in India not too long ago, and they were amazed at what we shot, and they said we got much better stuff because we weren't becoming the scene, we were just actually recording the scene, where when you bring in a crew of, in some cases these guys are bringing 14 people, 10 people, 7 people, it changes the whole dynamic.
You seem to really be interested in Roosevelt as well.
Roosevelt, I read a huge biography of Roosevelt when I was like 15. I'm talking, 300 pages. And it's an amazing, it was The Rise of Theodore Roosevelt, if you want to look it up. And I was fascinated with him before that, just to instigate me actually reading that. And he's an amazing figure in history, and anybody that's an environmentalist like I've been since I was 4 or 5 years old, obviously Theodore Roosevelt, he didn't start that movement. Obviously there were other big players before him like John Muir, but he was the first big politician with real clout that came in and said this is absolutely right. And he had a huge, except for his aversion towards hunting, he seemed to want to kill everything, and he kept calling it in the name of science. Outside of that, and we have to forgive him because he came from really a different era, so it's impossible for me to really judge what that is. And of course I've hunted from spearfishing to deer to everything myself, but I've really moved away from that, and he never did. But again, he always said in terms of, I'm collecting specimens, which he was. But outside of that, it's amazing what he did environmentally.